Hey YouTube, this is Commercial Break, the show that breaks down the biggest duds and studs in the ad game. Today we're going to be looking at a Disney Channel original series, Star Wars. As casual and hardcore fans know, this massive multi-billion-dollar franchise started in 1977 with A New Hope. Now episode 4. The original trilogy was incredibly well received and pushed the then modern filmmaking technology to its absolute limits. It was pioneered by George Lucas, who from the get-go knew the key to maintaining a successful franchise would be through toy and merchandise sales. He's quoted to have said, "I could see where things were headed. The toy business began to drive the Lucasfilm empire. It's a shame. They make 3 times as much on toys as they do on films." And as we all know, when Star Wars released in 1977, it was an instant hit. And while lukewarm to the idea of toys bankrolling his movies, his retention of merchandising rights up until his sale to Disney was probably his smartest decision. Star Wars licensed toys, including Legos and video games, generate upwards of $3 billion every year, so his royalties always paid out in massive quantities. We would delve more into the movies and the technological magic they represent, but a complete history over the development of Star Wars as a franchise is too much to fit into an intro like this. But here at Commercial Break, we take a deep dive into marketing, so that's exactly what we're going to do. To this day, their promos always leave a soft spot of nostalgia in our hearts, had an interesting premise to make them memorable, or just showed the cast having a genuinely good time. That's the crazy thing. Even under the new Disney ownership, they still offer up the same charm that they always have. So today we'll dive into a very large archive of Star Wars ads, and see if the Force is with them. Right, okay, so to start out, when you think about Star Wars marketing today, what do you think of? Kids! Kids are the primary consumers of the Star Wars brand. As a matter of fact, when The Force Awakens released in 2015, it brought with it $700 million of toy sales. It was the top-selling toy brand in the year of 2015 for a movie that didn't come out until the end of 2015. Okay, so to put that in context, the movie itself grossed about $2 billion worldwide, which is by itself massive, but if you supplement on this 35% toy boost, it easily makes more than Titanic and Avatar. But why do kids eat up Star Wars toys in such massive quantities? I feel like it's because, unlike a lot of other brands out there, Star Wars has been very consistent with how it treats its kid fan base. It never talks down to them. Everything is plainly marketed to kids. Just look at some of their early LEGO ads and you'll see you know exactly what you're getting when you buy the product. And regardless of your opinion on its new creative direction, you have to admit, they're still selling the same lightsabers that they started selling in the 70s, today, and they're making it charming.
Lisa! What took you so long? Well, this just got interesting.
Follow my lead.
Need more proof that they don't skimp out in selling to their child consumers? Okay, yeah, no problem. Just look at how they sell their video games. Personally, I hate Jar Jar. I think he undermined the tone of the prequels. But his presence front and center in this video game makes a lot of sense. He was beloved by kids. I think the main takeaway here is they easily could have used straight video game footage to push the sale, but they didn't. They made a 5-minute animatic that takes real resources and heart instead. You could say they really make you feel like you're in Star Wars. They care about how kids see them, and even I, an adult watching through all of this, laughed at least a couple of times during recording. So you gotta respect their game in at least the video game market. But wait, kids aren't the only crowd that Star Wars is gunning to keep. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew. It's no secret that the franchise creates a massive amount of merchandise, but I think the mistake a lot of people are making recently is that it's all shameless. Like, hear me out, this is a fan base that used to do this.
I've seen Star Wars about a dozen times.
Ho visto Star Wars 16 volte.
17 times.
Star Wars? 22回見ました。34.
40 times and it was great each time.
41 Mal.
About 57 times.
69 fois.
And these people still exist. They'll buy up the 4th version of R2 or the 20th version of 3PO just because they want to. They're collectors. That's what they do. And I'll be honest, you can say it's shameless all you want, but I have a perfect counterexample. We collect amiibos, right? So Nintendo made these gold and silver versions of Mario for collectors to eat up. And by never restocking their supply, they created an artificial demand for them. But why does Silver Mario exist? He's not canonically in any games. And I know what you're thinking. This is just Metal Mario. But no, it's not. That's a separate figure. This is a weird flex. But okay, I hear you out there. You're saying that it's not okay for Nintendo to do this, and it's equally not okay for Star Wars too. But what if I told you that Star Wars actually has a legitimate reason? It's literally insane. Star Wars built in a canonical reason in one of their main series movies for 3PO to get a new arm. So as much as we may not like it, the plot technically warranted an updated version of him. What's crazy is that they've got their target audience pinned. Not only are collectors going to want to eat up Porg plushies, they also know that kids are going to want them too. Like, look at that guy. How could you not? It's a pillow pet. And you can't have enough pillow pets. So one of the obvious benefits of being a franchise for 40 plus years now is that you can use your own trademarked characters in your ad campaigns. We of course see this with new series Rey archetypes, Kylo, and the like, but my favorite is when we go full OG and include Vader in promos. Honestly, the best part of his inclusion isn't that he's just a great character and they get him right every time. Actually, it's kind of the opposite. I like seeing him in promos that don't undermine the original James Earl Jones interpretation, but instead put him in situations that Vader shouldn't be in. So obviously the Wake Up with Star Wars domain doesn't exist anymore, or that would have been the intro bit. But it was fun seeing his now official title, Lord Vader, do what we'd all do if Heidi bumped into us. And if we're talking fun renditions of characters, we definitely can't overlook one of the best Super Bowl ads of all time. So across the board you see a respect for their characters, under the old Lucas and the now new Disney management. I hate that I have to qualify this, but not including cast interviews, I love the way that they've used actors in promoting their content.
Hello, I'm John Boyega.
I'm Gwendolyn Christie.
And we're about to put our hands in the fear box.
Really gentle.
Okay.
It's fine.
What is that?
But just...
What was that? What was that? Nah, that thing moved. I don't like that, man.
Totally fine.
Nah.
No, it's just...
A few moments later.
Really
Babe,
not
you can
helping.
do it. You can do it.
What is it?
Oh my gosh!
Even today we see occasions of the franchise having fun with the characters in promotional materials. Like, look at this. Everyone's smiley and happy to be a part of this massive space epic.
Your match! Just wanted to meet you, mate.
And in the end, that's what Star Wars has always been about. Wonder. It's why so many people are going to tune into the end of the saga this month, and The Mandalorian every week. That or Baby Yoda. Thumbnail! So where do Star Wars promos stack up in our pixel system? Well, it's actually really insane. It's been a franchise for more than 40 years now, and we anticipated a major drop in marketing quality given how safe it is as a brand. And when you've been around that long, you almost don't need to put any money into advertising, because all kids really need to see is a movie trailer, and they'll project that onto buying their 4th LEGO Millennium Falcon. And I've actually been saving this until the end of the video, but yes. It's not the big Millennium Falcon, but it's a very cool one. It even came with a Vader. Check that out. Doesn't really make much thematic sense, because it's absolutely by no means his ship. He got defeated by it multiple times, but cool, right? Yeah. My brother told me if I drop it, that I have to rebuild it, and he didn't give me a manual. I want to put it back. But again, it's so strange that Star Wars gets acquired by Disney in 2012, and you see a similar passion and creative direction in all of the promotional material that gets put out. Disney only makes smart investments, and yet they still at least seem to care in how they present themselves to collectors, kids, and lay fans alike. It's this respect for the old brand that gets new Star Wars a 1080p. Yay! But what did old Star Wars ads get? Come on. Were you not paying attention? It's okay, I saw Baby Yoda too. But they're the same, also 1080p, boom. This video was a major trip down memory lane, and I hope you all enjoyed. I've always been a fan of quality ads, as you can tell with this channel, and this was definitely a breath of fresh air after the Peloton staleness. But I hope you all stick around. We've got videos coming out every week, so that means next Wednesday when we put out our Christmas video, it'll be our little present to you guys. Be sure to comment what you think we should do our next video on, after the Christmas special of course. And subscribe so you can find out when we put out our content. Thanks again guys. Peace out.